What up guys, how are you guys doing? I'm Thales and we're back with another how to slice. In today's how to slice video, we're going to be checking out some awesome articulated sea animals. So let's go to the video. So this is Igor, this spotted eagle ray. As you can see, this is a really nice model to print, and in this video we're going to be checking out the best print settings to print it. So let's go. So as you can see, this is a really nice articulated model and it's got a really interesting mesh. So this is not the mesh you see anywhere. This is from our models here at STL Flix. This is a genius mesh that floats. So it's a mesh that you have never seen before. It's fantastic. So let's go to the print settings to see the best print. So let's start in layers and parameters. We're going to be printing this model as 0.16 millimeters, so we can get a better quality print by reducing this value, the lines of our print. So each layer is going to have a less height. So we're gonna have more layers. This way you're gonna get a better quality print. It's gonna take more time, but I do recommend to get the best quality possible. Going over here to vertical shells, we're going to be leaving at 3. So 3 because we want a really strong and rigid model so we can play with it without it breaking on our hand. And if sometimes you're going to give it to a kid, the kid is not going to break and throw in the wall. So it's going to resist the impact. Going to infill, we're going to be increasing to 10% just so we can get a better, a really dense model. We're going to be printing at gyroid just so we can get this strong model, and by printing gyroid printing waves so your printer never goes on a straight line. This reduces the chance of your print failing while printing the infill. So this is fantastic. Going to skirt and brim. So this is a moment that I want to give a lot of emphasis on because it is on brim. We're not going to be adding brim for this model. So for the ones that know, brim is a really interesting feature to increase the surface of bed adhesion. So the surface of contact to the build plate to increase the bed adhesion. As you can see, we got this mesh consists of really tiny parts. So it would be nice if we could add brim to this model. But unfortunately, if you add brim, it's going to lose all of the effect of the articulation and movement because the brim is going to be extremely hard to remove. So we're going to have to use other types of bed adhesion, to other parts, other tips to increase the bed adhesion. So what we can do is, the first tip is to always clean your build plate. So sometimes there is dust and oils from your finger on the build plate. So I do recommend cleaning with some isopropyl alcohol or detergent. This way you're going to get a really clean build plate so you can get a good bed adhesion because the dust is not going to lay and stick the filament to the build plate. So always clean your build plate so you can get a good bed adhesion and a good surface to print on. And if you have the some glue stick or other types of external adhesion, I do recommend using. So laying a really slow layer, a really fine layer of glue stick is going to help your model stick to the build plate. So you can increase and help your model connect and stick to the build plate. So this is a quite nice feature. And we're going to be reducing the speed of our print just so we can get a better print on our first layer and the other layers so we can print this tiny mesh real nicely. So I do recommend, we're not going to be adding brim, but we're going to be utilizing other features to help with our bed adhesion. So going over to support, we're not going to be printing enabling support, neither brim, because this model is optimized for printing and it does not need any support material. As for speed, we're going to be utilizing and reducing the first layer of speed. So we're going to be reducing to 15 millimeters a second, just so we can print really slowly, so we can get a good first layer. The first layer is the most important layer on our print, because all of the other layers are going to go on top of the first layer. So the first layer needs to be precise and perfect. So by printing at 15 millimeters a second, it's going to make sure that all of the mesh is going to print really slow and with perfection. On the other hand, for all of the other values, if we're printing on Bamboo Lab printers, on Bamboo Studio, I do recommend reducing to 50% of the speed, so half of the speed that you usually print on the standard printing speed, just so we can get a good quality print. I always say it's better to print slowly than having to print 3 times. So sometimes it's better to print 1 time real slowly than have to print 3 times with it filling multiple times. So print really slowly. In this case, I'm utilizing Ender 3 V3 SE. So for Ender 3 V3 SE, you can be reducing some small parameters and going down to around 80 millimeters a second on common printers. So around 80 millimeters, you're going to get a good quality print. On Bamboo Lab printers, print on half speed. So this is perfect. So right here, we can be slicing this model and taking a look. So as you can see, we have slice. It's going to take a little bit of time to slice because the mesh consists of multiple meshes and triangulars, so it takes a little bit of time. But it's going to take 20 hours and 22 minutes to print on the standard Ender 3 V3 SE, and it looks fantastic. If you go down the layers, you see that it's going to be printing at 10% infill, so gyroid. So the mesh is going to print quite nicely with the first layer, and it's going to go up real nicely. If we go to speed, you'll see that it reduces the speed while printing. So the first layer is at around 15 meters a second, and the other parts are at around 45 millimeters a second. On small parameters, around 50. And to this big part right here that doesn't have any meshes is going to be printing at 80 millimeters a second. So this is perfect. So the Prusa already does a different speed for each part. This is fantastic because it's going to help a lot with our bed adhesion and make sure that this model does not unstick from the build plate. So grab a really nice film that you have laying around and print this model. So the models are ready to print. Make sure to check out stlflix.com for more models like this one, and I'll see you in another one.
I hope you guys enjoy it. Those slicing videos are an initiative from STL Academy, which is the educational project from STL Flix. So if you guys want to learn more about 3D printing, you could check our description and look at STL Academy courses. And don't forget, see you guys at the next slicing.